Hello, my beautiful souls. This is the weekly read for the Twin Flame energy for this week, January 22nd. And if anybody's interested in a read, I'm going to do the 11/11 special again. So if you're interested in a read, get me an email, your question, and a name for the read. And all payments are in USD through PayPal at padmaji17@yahoo.com. And again, that'll be an 11/11 special. Okay, so $11.11. So I'm going to get on with the read. Top line is going to be the masculine. Bottom line is going to be the feminine. Again, operating in both the yin and the yang. So we do have times where we kind of switch out. So you just take what resonates with you at this time during this week. When it comes to the masculine, I do see a lot of the masculine carrying just like a lot of worry, a lot of stress on them right now. That worry, that stress is just coming at them like full force. Okay, so for those of you that are operating in the masculine, you're feeling a lot of stress. You're feeling like a stream of bad luck. Like you're just going to have to push through this and just kind of stay positive. I do see you getting through it. You're going to get through it very swiftly. Okay, things are going to move fast, but you're going to have so much stress and just have to push through this week. I do feel it also in the masculine. There is an opportunity coming up. This is an opportunity where you're going to feel like your cup is running over. This is going to be like the blessing. So it's almost like, you right now you're going through that storm, but the blessing is about to come. I see a window of opportunity opening up. And when it comes to matters of the heart, again, I see a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty. But things are really changing and looking very positive in the masculine, but because there's such a stress and such a burden that's going on right now. And for those of you that may have a masculine that's in a relationship or in a marriage, this is going to be about that marriage, but there's a lot of growth that's happening, even though they are stressed and just kind of feel like they're in just like this swamp of bad luck. This is going to be a time for them to grow and to learn. So it's actually going to be like a positive. But with this window of opportunity opening up for them, it's a lot more growth. Also in giving them more insight and more focus. And a lot of that focus is going to go in because the stress that's coming into them, it's like a lot of their focus right now is going to be like, oh God, why is this happening? Why am I going through this? Is this payback for something I've done? And it's going to bring about a lot of questioning into them. So they're going to really bring some focus into themselves, which is actually a really good thing for them to do a lot of self-discovery and understand the situation that they're in and what it is that they do want. Because I do feel that a lot of the masculine right now is going through like some type of a state of confusion. But when it comes to the feminine has done so much work and done so much healing and has been reflecting so much onto them that this is why now they're coming into this point where they're going to start focusing on themselves. And that's when they start feeling like their cup is running over. Like there's so much love bubbling up in them, and they're going to want to seek this one person. So I do feel that for those of you that have been in a time of separation, that the masculine now is thinking about this one person. Their focus is on that one person. They're still a little shy or doubtful for whatever happened, miscommunication or lack of communication. They're feeling a little doubtful, like they don't want to just send a social media message or call or something because they feel like there may be some rejection. You may be angry at them, so they're thinking about sending a message, but they're not quite there yet because they're still feeling, they're still feeling a little bit of doubt inside themselves. And because the stress and the situation they're going through right now, it's almost like they feel that if they had somebody that they really loved and cared about in their life, that it would be easier to deal with a lot of this stress. And the thought is coming back down to the divine feminine. So But this window of opportunity that's opening up for the masculine is really it's a good window, because it's a time for them to really reflect on themselves, to focus on things that they want, things that they need, things that need to be done. And it's almost like it's a time for getting things in order. Okay, but for those of you that are in the separation with them, or just know that right now the masculine is having issues with communication. So for those of you that feel like they've gone silent, or they're not really speaking, it's like they're having this issue with communication right now. They're feeling a lot of doubt within themselves, a lot of confusion going on. So the time in this window for the opportunity for them to really reflect on what's going on and how they're feeling, and just put their focus back where it's needed. So this is all a good thing that's happening right now in the masculine. Okay, so we're going to get to the feminine. Now, in the feminine, I do see that there is this longing for completion. There's this longing to feel complete. There's this longing to have it all now. But in the feminine, I see that there's like a really lack of patience. There's a lot of ego coming up. And because you want that love, that joy, that family unit, that relationship, you want it so bad. And you just had so many expectations that now it's like you're at a point where you're going to have to release those expectations, because you're literally driving yourself crazy, because you're lacking the patience and you're overthinking a lot of things. Feminine, again, I do feel that some of you are feeling that you need to leave situations behind. It's a difficult choice to make, but this is part of your journey. You're going to have to leave some things behind. It's a sad time, but you're going to learn to kind of take the good with the bad, and you're going to get through it, okay? Also in the feminine, I do feel that there is a lot of unity going on within the feminine. A lot of you are feeling like whole and complete within yourself, and you're not really needing, though you want this union, you're not really needing it as much as you have in the past. And this is just reflection of how much you've grown on this journey. In the feminine, it's kind of like a mixed signal that's coming through right now, because I feel like some of the feminine are getting involved in soulmate relationships. They're feeling that love, they're feeling that peace, and this is where they're just like going with the flow of things, because they've come from something that's been like really difficult and heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, stressful, and you feel like you're being like a wave in the ocean being tossed to and fro. And so now it's almost like I just need to leave this situation behind. This doesn't necessarily mean we're talking exactly about leaving your masculine energy behind, but it's just that there's something that's been going on, and it's time for you to leave that in the past. Okay, so there's some growth that's going on in the feminine energy. I think that maybe there's also some family matters, maybe within the family, where you just need to cut those ties, because spiritually, these issues are draining you of your energy. I feel that this could be like some type of drama within the family. So even for you feminine that are in a marriage, you're really feeling drained. You're really feeling it's time to cut this off. So for those of you that, again, have your divine partner who's in a marriage, I do see a lot of them coming to that realization that, this is just draining me, this is stressing me out, and it's time for me to cut this off. That's a decision that is really hard for them to make, but they're about to make it. And once they make it, it's done. Okay, there's no turning back. They're just going to move on forward. And again, this is them kind of taking the good with the bad and deciding that they want to go with the good. So they want to move out of this situation, be done with it, cut the cords, and, cut all ties and be done with it. I'm also getting messages where it comes to there being more of a balance. And I think this is going to go out to both the feminine and the masculine energy right now, is that there needs to be more of a balance in your life, in your work, in your home life, in your persona. There needs to be more of a balance. And for those of you that have been feeling maybe a little down, maybe some depression, maybe, just like 1 minute you're up, the next minute you're down, this is where you're needing to balance. So it's really good that you keep yourself grounded and just kind of clear all the energies. I spoke before about the glass of water. So you may want to do the glass of water for those of you that sage. I also drink sage tea when I feel like I'm a little unbalanced. So I'll heat up some sage tea, and I buy dried sage, and I just put it in my little tea container and boil it up and drink it with some honey. Sometimes I'll put some lemon in there, but sage is really good to like just kind of clear yourself inside. And I do find that when I drink the sage tea, that I feel more clear with my connection to source. Okay, but I do feel that there's definitely some balance that's needing to be done right now in both the energies because of the situation. The feminine, it's more like a longing to feel complete and whole. And in the masculine, it's just there's like so much stress that's going on in life, day-to-day life. There's so much stress. It's like here we are, January 22nd, and it's like, where did all this time go? Okay. So that's basically it right now that I'm getting for the domestic, for the divine partnership. The masculine is progressing and is going to have this awesome window of opportunity for some growth and learning and more focus on themselves. But they still have that doubt and uncertainty of making that connection. And with the feminine, I feel that, we're coming out of a situation that we know, like cutting the ties here to something that no longer serves us is going to help us. And again, that's going to bring more balance into your life because you've learned to take the good with the bad. But right now it's like you can't really juggle negative and positive. You need to just walk in positive. All right. So if anybody's interested in a reading, all my information is below. And again, that's an 11/11 special. So go ahead and pay through PayPal and send me that email of your question and a name for your read. And all my reads I do on Sundays, but I'll put the read out as soon as I have the opportunity. So as soon as possible, I'll get your reads out, hopefully before Sunday. All right, so everybody remember to live your days with love, laughter, and harmony. Namaste.